right, so let's move on to our next segment,
Yes,
which
AEW
we have been
picks.
going over. If you've been watching the show, you know we have been going over the draft picks and going over our thoughts on some of the more popular choices, etc. So we thought we would do something a bit different this episode. We're going to actually name the rookie in each position that we think will be the highest fantasy scorer in the Orkney Bowl this year. I would like to repeat, we're not talking about redraft or dynasty leagues or any of that type of thing, keeper leagues. We're only talking about the Orkney Bowl and Orkney Bowl scoring for this year and which rookie at each position will have the biggest impact. That was the deal. And each of us chose one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, and one tight end, including Johnny. So we will have an interesting selection here, I am sure. So I'm sure we will have some lively debate. And Ewan Kicks, please give us your thoughts on each position as well, and we can include you in the chat. Yeah. So, Johnny, are you ready? Here we go. So, just quickly, I will run through it real quick. Jaden Daniels seems to be quite popular. Trey Benson is 3 out of 5. We have Jalen Wright and a Jonathan Brooks, if he plays.
Snap on the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Keon Coleman is quite popular. We got Marvin Harrison, of course, with Luke, and then Malik Neighbors. And then, of course, tied in, Jatavian Sanders is in 3 of them. Ben Sinnott, and I cannot believe Johnny did not take his own tight end, Theo Johnson. Especially with that depth chart. Who else is going to play? Bellingham? Yeah. So, let's just clear the quarterback off right away. I don't think all of us need to talk about Jaden Daniels. So, Pez, tell us why Jaden Daniels is the clear-cut winner here for the most effective rookie quarterback this season.
For me, watching him in college last year, he can pretty much just sling it everywhere. But because it's the Commanders, they're not going to be able to protect him because I had a quick look. I don't think they've really improved their O-line. I'm not a great O-line person to know. But for me, it's like he's going to be running for his life. And that's something he's fucking great at. So he's just going to be racking them points up whilst trying not to get himself killed at the same time. And I think it's going to be great for fantasy. And he's starting. So.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to add something about Jaden, that's great. Let's get through each position with one of us talking about one guy. So I would like to go to Craig next. Craig, you've chosen Trey Benson as your running back. Why is he going to be the most rookie impact running back this season in fantasy?
I think he's going to get the most chances is the biggest reason why I've plugged him in there. Brooks is obviously injured, so he's not going to be starting early doors, and even when he does come in, you've got Hubbard there. Connor gets injured often, so tucking in behind Connor, I can't remember the last time if he's ever played a full season, not missed a game. So I think Benson will get opportunity, which is the main reason why I've plugged in all 4 of my guys, but opportunity basically. For the better running back, I think Brooks is a better running back. I think Marshawn Lloyd at the Packers will be a better running back. I just think Benson will be better this year.
Yeah, I'll give my thoughts here in a bit. But Luke, let's go to you next. Luke, you've chosen Ben Sinnott as your rookie tight end. What's your thoughts with that?
Why not? No, I don't know. It's just opportunity. I think there he's got. I think he's got a big opportunity. I don't think. What's his name? Shit. Who's the old chap? Sorry.
Zach Ertz.
That's it. I think he won't play that many games. I think he'll get the start, but I think he'll be out injured. So for me, I was just thinking opportunity. The better the better offense, I think, for this season will be Washington out of quite a few of these tight ends. Otherwise, I'd have gone Sanders, but I just think he might get opportunity, but I don't think he'll struggle in that offense to get anything decent. So I've just gone for who I think's good, a good rookie tight end and an opportunity, basically.
I agree.
All right, Johnny. I have to ask you, how can you go with Jatavian Sanders over your guy Johnson? What's your thoughts with that, Johnny?
Well, I could have gone Theo Johnson, but I do think Bellinger, as Craig knows, I do like Bellinger, and I think he will get his chances as well. But like I say, the Giants do suck. So you've got to rely on Jones actually staying off his arse and actually throwing the ball. I did nearly go for a Sinner, actually, because he should have a good chance in him. But then Jatavian Sanders obviously seems to be pretty popular as well, but could have gone Brock Bowers, but obviously you don't know who the hell's throwing the ball over there. So, but yeah, I nearly went Sinnott, but I went for Sanders instead, because I do have both of them in quite a lot of best ball leagues. So one of them's going to do well. Even that EW Kicks knows me. There you go. That's why I didn't pick Theo Johnson.
Yeah, well,
they could all do crap. To be fair, all these tight ends, they could do nothing.
Oh, they can.
Absolutely. They probably will year one.
especially in the first
The thing
year.
is,
Same with wide receivers.
the thing is with these tight ends, they're all safe. Like, really, they are the ones who will realistically. Obviously, Brock Bowers is the second coming of Gronk or whatever people want to say about him, but it's like, who's throwing in the fucking football for starters is just one. And with all these three, I think even though Daniel Jones is questionable, I think the way Theo Johnson plays with Malik Neighbours, like EW Kicks and Johnny have both put, I think it's going to help Daniel Jones out a lot more, because the threat of Neighbours in the wide receiver position is going to open up for Theo Johnson or Bellinger. But Bellinger can't stay healthy, so let's say Theo Johnson is the guy, and it's going to open things up for him a lot more, and he's going to become a really good safety valve. A bit like what I said before about rookies, Daniel Jones has shown he can get on a roll, but also shown that he's not that good. So Theo Johnson could really help him out, and Theo Johnson can make things happen on his own. Just dump off, and he can make them like points rack up by himself. I do like Luke's Ben Sinnott a lot. I've heard a lot of fantasy people talking about him because Zach Ertz is realistically going to be the starter because of Jaden Daniels being a rookie. You want as many experienced guys around these rookies. But I just think watching Ben Sinnott in college, I think age of Zach Ertz and just how good Ben Sinnott is at tight end he'll just end up forcing his way into that team, and they'll have to find ways to play him. Sanders, I think, is going to be, because I just pulled up the Panthers depth chart, and if you look, Jonathan Brooks, if he starts, it's risky to do. If you're relying on him to be your long-term running back, you just sit him. Hubbard's good enough. You got Hubbard and you got Miles Sanders. Just use them until he's fully healthy. Why run the doors off him when you don't even know if Bryce Young can even do it in the league? But with the head coach, with Bryce Young, what he's shown with Baker Mayfield, he's shown with Russell Wilson. He's with Russ most of his career in Seattle. People don't talk about that as much. He makes things work with a quarterback. So I do expect the Panthers to be a lot more aggressive on offense and have a lot more fluidity. But then you look at the wide receivers, Mingo kind of like was meant to be something, really wasn't. Terrence Marshall Jr. really wasn't. Adam Thielen's old. Deontay Johnson, great PPR guy. You got this Leggett who does look nice. And then you got Tommy Tremble in front of Sanders. But Sanders just better all around. And that's why I think for me, the two guys are Sanders and Sinnott to get the automatic, like, out of them all to get the consistency straight away.
I tell you what, I never expected to be talking about Senate and Sanders as much as we did ever in a fantasy chat. However, I would like to discuss why I chose Jalen Wright. Number one, I was drunk when I sent Johnny that message. Not gonna lie. Number two,
Always drunk, Matt.
not always. Once a week, man. Once a week.
Yeah.
Only in days they end, or, well, anyway, whatever. The reason why, in all honesty, I think everyone overlooks the Miami backfield, and I don't know why. They had great production last year with their running backs. The problem was the running backs could not stay healthy. And for some reason, this year, everyone is expecting a 33-year-old Mostert to play 18 games. They're expecting A-Chain that can only stay on the field for 5 games last year to play 18 or even 12 or even 10. Jalen Wright is going to come out there, and he may not in the first week or two shine. But A-Chain didn't either. Jalen Wright will be the guy in the backfield that finishes the season as the starter. Now, to be honest, Jaden Daniels, I thought I was going to go against the grain. Thought all of you would be picking Caleb Williams. Keon Coleman, I picked him because of Buffalo's his best situation. And Theo Johnson, of course, I think he's in the best situation of the rookie tight ends, as we mentioned in the previous show. Luke, do you have anything to add?
Am I the only one? Am I the only one that picked Marvin Harrison?
Can I answer this?
Yeah, notice that.
Can I
You
answer
don't
this?
want to put the obvious answer.
Can I answer this one?
Quarterback, Meyer versus Allen.
Murray's good.
Yeah,
Murray.
he's great, but the issue he has, 1 minute, let me just quickly, because Desmond Ridder, when he eventually starts in week 6 or 7, because Kyler Murray can't stay healthy, Marvin Harrison goes, doesn't matter how good he is, if that quarterback stinks, because Kyler Murray gets injured every single year. Without a doubt, every single year, and everyone on that Cardinals, except for the running back, struggles and then suffers, and it's painful.
Garrett Wilson did all right with shy quarterbacks. I think
I think Marvin Harrison will be great. The reason I went with Keon Coleman is because I think he'll be the Bills' number one, and he's got Josh Allen thrown to him.
Yep.
That's why, over Harrison, and I did kind of figure that everyone else would be on Harrison. I mean, I'm on Sanders there. If I'd have known that no one else was on Brock Bowers, I would be on Brock Bowers. I kind of was going against the grain, I thought, but yeah, that's the reason I went against Harrison, was just because I think Coleman's got a better situation.
My worry with Coleman, is he not a bit of a one-trick pony there? Can he do enough to get high targets and not just have like a one big game, and a bit like a Gabe Davis replacement?
No
a bit more
That's what
talent.
we've got to hope for, that's what I'm certainly hoping for. But I hear you, Luke, and I do. That is my worry, and I hope not, because I've drafted him in most of my dynasties. I think
I've got him.
I have
4 dynasties I've got ended up with him in.
For me, you watch Coleman in college, and since he transferred and got into a bit more of a better offensive system, he started showing everything he could do in South Florida. And I just think, me and my mate spoke about this, plays fantasy as well, and I'm just high on him and he likes him, because one thing what Josh Allen's great at is he raises the players around him. Like Gabe Davis, was it, when you watch Gabe Davis' good games, was it him, or was it actually just Josh Allen, elevating him? Because that's what Josh Allen can do. That's why everyone loves him, and that's why everyone wants him, and why he's up there as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, because that's the kind of thing he doesn't really get praised for a lot, Josh Allen, because he's had Stephon Diggs, whereas I think this year people are going to realise that he can actually elevate the game of the players around him and bring them to where he is. So that's why I think Coleman's just going to... I don't buy into this, he struggled coming out of college into the NFL. I think every single fucking player leaving college into the NFL struggles at the start, especially in an OTA, where you're just trying to get your head around the book. You know what I mean?
apart from Marvin and Neighbours. But no, I mean, with the Bills there, you've got to think about there's Curtis Samuel there, who's got affinity with the head coach. Yeah, I just feel like he's going to be more of the possession receiver, and they're going to throw a lot more short stuff. Keep the chains moving. Allen's going to run it more this year and put the team on his back. And I just see Coleman as not having a bad year. I'm not saying he's a bad option. I just don't think he's going to get consistent targets like week in, week out to be that number one rookie receiver.
It really depends on. For me, it really depends on. It's a one to monitor through training camp. It really is. Like obviously, everyone's drafting really early now, but the drafts into training camp are the ones I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to him. I'm taking the gamble now because I really like him, but then as training camp starts, just trying to pick up the vibe on him. But if we all remember, apparently Jamar Chase couldn't catch a football in training camp in his rookie year.
He dropped everything.
Let's not forget, all these teams talk a lot of shit. If they think they've got something, they'll just release stuff just to lie and put people off. Like you are right. Marvin Harrison is an exceptional talent. Like you only need to watch football to see that he's a phenomenal talent. That's why I didn't really want to go for Marvin
Murray's
Harrison.
got to stay healthy for 18 games or 17 games. Sorry, 17. Murray's got to be more consistent.
Well, Murray's just got to stay healthy, and then Marvin Harrison is the clear. If Murray has a full year of protection and he doesn't get these stupid ankles or knee injuries he gets every single year, then Marvin Harrison will destroy every rookie wide receiver because he'll be unstoppable. Like he just will.
That's what happens when your quarterback is the same size as the ninth grade, quarterback. I mean, seriously. I mean, I think my 9-year-old daughter is as tall as he is.
I take offense to that. I'm only 5'8".
Same here, 5'8", but I'm not playing in the NFL.
It gives us hope.
I can dominate the neighborhood kids, but not the NFL.
EW Kicks thinks that Keon Coleman's going to be Jalen Reagor 2.0. I don't appreciate that.
No.
I do not appreciate that.
I mean, that could be that's the thing about the wide receivers, when they're coming in. I mean, Marvin Harrison could be Jalen Reagor 2.0. It's
no. Marvin Harrison
can happen,
be JJ, Jamar Chase, CD.
You would think so. You would think so, but for every JJ and Jamar Chase, there is a Jalen Reagor, who comes in the first round, and I think at one point Leonard Hankerson was traded for a first-round pick. Leonard Hankerson, a wide receiver, was traded from the Falcons to the Patriots for a first-round pick. And it's, receivers don't always do it. That a lot of the ones that come in quite high up flop away.
The difference now compared to generations before is the athleticism. Is that right? You know what I mean?
Athleticism, yeah.
That's right.
Of these players that wide receivers coming in now is ridiculous, and Harrison's just year after year after year after year after year. Like, there's no drop off in his game, and that's why he is going to be one of the greats. I think the only thing to let him down is, I think if he, lets it all go to his head and then gets distracted, then falls to the side, like the wayside. But it'd be an interesting battle between him and Neighbours anyway.